Hi everyone, it's Jira from Plant Corner and welcome back to our channel. I am so incredibly grateful. I just came back from a trip back home and found out that we have over 8,000 views on this one video that we posted a couple weeks ago. And also we now have over 250 followers. So thank you. I truly appreciate your support. Today I want to talk about some of the plants that I've killed and the lessons I've learned from killing them. And the reason why I can't tell you about all the plants that I've killed is because there would be way too many plants that I could mention in one single video. I think I've killed over 100 plants throughout my plant parent journey, but here we are, handling over 20,000 plants and counting. I grew up in Bangkok, Thailand, where there are so many plants around me, but I've always taken them for granted. I never understand why my dad has to wake up every morning and water all his plants. I don't understand why my mom went crazy when she see rare orchids, and I didn't really ever care for plants. I went to school, and my school was a demonstration school under a university that is famous for being the most advanced in terms of agriculture. So they built in basically a gardening curriculum into my from first grade to sixth grade. I would be growing vegetables and plants and sunflowers as part of the curriculum. But to be honest, all I could remember was that I did not like it. I scream every time I see worms or earthworms or bugs. So it wasn't really my favorite subject. Now fast forward, I didn't really have a plant until I moved here, and then I started teaching, and part of the curriculum was teaching about plants. And I got my classroom an air plant, kind of similar to this air plant, but of course he's not here with us anymore. I named him Bob, and Bob the air plant was doing well for a while. He was doing well from around October until December, which was when Christmas break happened, and I didn't know that the school would have turned off their heat while we're gone for the holiday. So I came back to Bob being crisped up and passed away. So I then learned that, every plant has a certain environment that they could live in, and not all plants can survive the winter in New York. Now, fast forward a couple years later, the pandemic hit, and my husband and I decided to leave the city to stay in his parents' retirement home in Florida for like what we thought was going to be a week or two, but it turns out it stretched to like 2 to 3 months back then. And in the meantime, I was just so bored. I wanted to do something, and I decided I wanted to grow a cilantro. So I bought like cilantro seeds and soil, and I was taking care of it until it sprouted. I was so happy. I watered it every morning, and then finally it grew. And it didn't grow fast enough for me, so I decided it needs some boost. It needs some fertilizer. So I went ahead and saw Miracle-Gro, and I saw like the side package say, oh, just use this tiny bit amount mixed with a gallon of water and water your plants. And in my head I was like, there's no way this tiny amount is gonna be enough for my plants. So I added a whole teaspoon of it with some water, and then just watered all my baby cilantros. And the next day I woke up checking on my cilantro and found them all dead, brown, dead, crisps up. And that's the first time I learned that you can actually overfeed your plants, especially young plants that, with the new soil, it already has a lot of nutrients. You might not have to feed them that much, and definitely not over what the size of the bottle recommended you. So we came back to New York, we moved to our new apartment, and then I started collecting plants. I told my husband we need a couple new plants for our new place. It's gonna make, it's gonna make the space a little brighter. It's gonna make us a little happier. So I first ordered 3 plants, and then 3 becomes 5, 5 becomes 10, and so on. So one of the plants I really fell in love with, the family that I fell in love with, was calatheas. And I think everybody has the same period of like, oh my gosh, the patterns are so beautiful, the colors are so beautiful, we should collect all the calatheas. At one point, I believe I have over 20-25 species of calatheas. I love them so much. I bought a humidifier for them. I bought special grow light for them. Just make sure they get everything that they need. And again, a winter time in combination of I wanted to grow in the winter, and back then I didn't know that plants do need to rest and they won't grow much in the winter. That year, my mother-in-law sent me a box of steak, and I know you're thinking, what's going on with Jira? Why is she talking about steak all of a sudden? I promise it's coming back to this. So my mother-in-law sent me a box of steak, and in there's like an ice pack that is made of something you could use as a fertilizer. I think it's something has nitrogen in it, I believe. So once you you defrost your meat, you don't have to just throw the ice pack away. You can use it to fertilize your plant. So of course, I've learned my lesson, right? I know that I shouldn't be using too much. So I only put just a handful with a lot of water and use that to water all my plants. And the next day I woke up, again, all the calatheas has burned to crisp because now I know the calatheas, they don't like a lot of fertilizer, especially chemical fertilizer. It hasn't really been working well with calathea. Also, if they don't get a lot of light in the winter time, they're not going to grow much. They're not going to utilize the fertilizer or the nutrients that they get. So calatheas, I mass murdered them entirely, and I didn't give up. I still have calatheas, and now I'm doing a lot better with them. So lesson learned. The next plant I mass murdered were begonias, and specifically rhizomatous begonias, or the ones with a lot of fuzzy leaves. Again, when I started collecting one species, I just went all out. I have, again, over 20 to 30 begonias at once. And of course, everything started off well. I give them what I thought they need. They seem to be growing. They seem to like the environment I provide. And one day I saw that some of the leaves started falling, and the leaves that fall had some white sheens on it. And I didn't think about anything much. I just cut them off, just keep taking care of them. And then all of a sudden, all my begonias has all those white stuff, and then just lose all the leaves. And I found out later that that is powdery mildew. And it's a type of fungus infection that happens when the begonia's leaf gets wet and there's no airflow, there's no air circulation. So it builds a very good environment for the fungi to grow on the leaves and then eat the leaves and destroy the leaves. And back then, because I didn't know about plant diseases, I let all my begonias die from this. All of this is just to tell you that every plant you kill is a lesson learned, right? You learn and you do better the next time around. I just don't think green thumb or black thumb is something you have from the day you were born. I think it's something that you can learn. and manifest, if that's what you'd like to call. And I don't think killing plants is an unforgivable thing. It's part of the process, it's part of your learning. And what's more important than the plant you kill is what lesson you have learned from it. And of course, after I opened the store, I still kill a lot of plants. When I first opened the store, I had to acclimate many plants at once. And sometimes I did such a bad job that the whole imports died. And I think everything is just a learning process for me to do better the next time, to learn what works and what doesn't work in my environment. And all of this is just to say that it's so normal to kill a plant or two, especially when you first started. Or even when you have a lot of plants, you can still kill a plant. And that is okay. Forgive yourself. Don't think of each plant that you kill that you're a bad plant parent, but think about the lessons you can learn about the plant so you can apply it to your other plants. I hope you find this video helpful. Please like or subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have any type of content that you want to see in this channel, feel free to leave the comment down below. I'll make sure to read them and get through them, and make sure to share with you what I've learned as much as I can, as soon as I can. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!